Good morning, Oxford Hawks. So I'm Pollyanna. If you don't already know me, I am Lightspeed Sports Recovery. So I work with the women's ones and twos to help manage their injuries and any fitness issues that they might have. So today we're looking at some basic core exercises. So this is really important to start getting you ready for the season. It will help with reducing your injuries, it will make you stronger, and you'll just feel better and fitter. So it will develop a really good foundation. So first of all, we need to go over what is your deep core muscles. So often we think that our abdominals, which are these muscles here, are our core muscles, but they're not really. They're sort of the global core muscles, as we would term them. So we want to think about something called the transabs and the pelvic floor. These are the two ones that you can actually activate and control. So the first thing you want to do is just find your hip bones, so the bits that stick out at the front. You're going to take your thumbs and you're just going to roll them in to get some soft tissue. And then from here, you're going to draw in through that muscle, and you should feel it tense underneath your thumbs. So it's like you're trying to put on a really tight pair of jeans, and you've got to draw in to get them on. So you're going to draw in and then just release. So that's drawing in and release, and that's activating your trans abdominals. The next one is your pelvic floor, and guys, you do have a pelvic floor. So the best thing for this is to draw up. So it's that feeling of drawing up. You can't use your hands to test it, but you're drawing up and then releasing. So the other way to really practice this is when you're going to loo, to stop mid-flow, and that really helps. It's a really good way of actually strengthening up your pelvic floor. For guys, the best way to describe it, and apologies for this, is nuts to guts. So you're drawing up, and that's how you activate your pelvic floor. So those are two key muscles that you want to be activating for these exercises. So we're just going to go over 5 exercises just to start with, and we'll develop these and build on them and make them more difficult as we go through the summer and get you ready for the season whenever it starts. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is a shoulder bridge, which probably quite a lot of you have done these ones before. So literally all you're going to do is lie on the floor. You might want a mat or a carpet just to make yourself nice and comfortable. From there, bring your feet in towards your body. You want your legs hip width apart. You're going to lie flat down, arms on the floor. So from there, you're going to engage your glute muscles, so clench your butt muscles. You're going to tuck the pelvis up and under, so the tailbone tucks under. You're going to peel that lower back off the floor bit by bit until you come to a nice straight line from the knee, hip to shoulder. You're going to breathe in at the top, exhale, and then roll back down. So you start with the top of the back, then the mid back, lower back, and finally bringing that pelvis back down into neutral. So you're going to breathe in, exhale, you're going to engage those glute muscles, peel up gradually. So you should have a bend in the back as you're coming up, and then get a nice straight line from the knee, hip to shoulder. Breathe in at the top, exhale, and then rolling back down. So starting with the top of the back, mid back, lower back, and finally bringing that back into neutral. So that one's really good because it gets your glutes going as well, which is really important for when we're playing hockey. So this exercise works on your posterior chain, and when we talk about the posterior chain, we mean through the back, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and everything like that. So the next one we're going to do also works on your posterior chain, but involves the arms a little bit more. So we call this one swimming. So from there, you want to be on all fours. You want to make sure that you've got your knee underneath your hip and that you've got your hands underneath your shoulder. From there, you're going to draw up through those abdominals. You're going to just gently tuck the tailbone in so you get a nice flat back. You're going to keep your head and neck in a nice neutral position. You're going to breathe in, exhale, and you're going to take the opposite arm to leg out, and then inhale to bring it back in. So it's exhale to take the opposite leg to arm out, inhale to bring it back in. And when you do this, you want to keep that pelvis nice and level. So you see how that's nice and flat? I'm not dipping it, so we don't want to see that coming down. We want to keep it nice and flat. You should be able to keep your tray of drinks or something like that on your back, and then bring it back down. Okay, so that is swimming. The next one we want to do is scissors. And I'm hoping these guys won't come too much closer. So for swimming, you're lying on your back. You want to bring one leg into tabletop and then the other leg into tabletop. So you've got double tabletop. If you find this too difficult, you can keep one leg on the floor and then just bring it up and then take the other one down and bring it up. But if you want to do the harder one, from there you're going to tap the one foot down, bring it back up, tap the other one down, bring it back up. Making sure you've got the transabs and pelvic floor engaged when you do this exercise, and keep breathing. So breathing is quite important, but don't worry if you don't get the breathing completely correct. So you're breathing out as you take the leg down and in as you bring it back up. And then just working that. And that again will work through the abdominals and just get a nice pelvic control. So you should keep the pelvis nice and level. So use your hands if you need to. Just make sure that that is staying level. So that is scissors. So the next one we're doing, a similar position, is called a hip twist. So a hip twist, you're lying exactly the same position, but this time you're taking the leg out to the side, keep it nice and controlled, and then bringing it back in, and then taking the other one out, and then bringing it back in. So you're exhaling to take that knee out, and then inhale to bring it back in. Again, you need to keep that pelvis nice and level. So from there, that pelvis should not pop up. Keep your fingers on it and it will just help you give a little bit more feedback. Sorry about this. Richie, out of the way. Come on. Okay, so the last one, apologies for that slight interruption, is a roll down. So, or roll up, depending on how you look at it. So for this one, you're going to be sitting. You're going to be sitting nice and tall. You're going to float your arms up to shoulder height. And from here, you're going to roll off your seat bones. So you roll back, so your pelvis should roll like mine is. You're then going to make a nice C shape with your spine. You're then going to breathe in to come back up. So this, when you come back up, you come up with the pelvis first, then you straighten the back. So it's exhale to roll back, reaching forward, and then inhale to come back up and sitting back up. So it's a nice one because again it's working the abdominals, it's working your control, and it's a nice simple one to start developing to move on to some of the harder core exercises that we will do at some point. So those are the 5 core exercises we're going to go over today. And if you have any questions, please do email me, message me through either WhatsApp or, as I said, just email, and ask any questions. So if there's any questions from this video or any questions you have about fitness, just give me a buzz and we can have a chat. Brilliant, thanks, bye.